Hi, welcome to the second coming of unbelief. I can't get any answer from any prominent theologians. I've only asked one. Um, I'm going to chat about Judges. I want to know why the hell Judges is even in the Hebrew Scriptures. I don't see any moral lessons in any of the stories. In chapter 1, we see the torture and degradation of kings. We cut off their thumbs and big toes and just watch them enjoy watching their suffering. And this is God's will. It's okay by God. What's not okay by me? Um, Still in chapter 1, we see Caleb, of Caleb and Joshua. We see Caleb offering up his daughter as a carnival prize for whoever brings in the highest body count. And all she does is ask, hey, can I at least have some water wherever I'm going? Um, I'm sorry, girls are not carnival prizes. We're still in chapter 1. Apparently, God is omnipotent, which means all powerful, except he's not powerful enough to fight against iron chariots. Mm, yeah. That's chapter 1. Chapter 2, we find Ehud, the lefty. And everybody knows we carry our sword in our left side because everybody's right handed. And so they patted his left side and didn't pat down on his right side. And he stabs the king, locks the door behind him, and everybody says, oh, the king's gone to the bathroom. We'll check on him in a little bit. Um, he's a liar, he's a deceiver, and this is our hero? Come on. Chapter 3 is the story of Barak, who's such a coward that he says, yeah, I'm good at fighting, but I'm not going to go anywhere without you. You're God's prophetess. I'm not going anywhere without you. Deborah says, okay, you'll be successful. We're going to give the victory to a woman. What's I have a problem with that. I have a problem with the prophetess telling you, well, if you're too chicken, we'll let a woman claim the prize. And here's one of the things that I can't bank on because I need an expert to correct me on. But Yale hollers at Cicero, hey, come on in. And the text says, covered him with a blanket and gave him to drink some milk. Milk could have been, who knows, cow's milk, goat's milk. It could have been anything. It didn't have to be anything, you know, body. But I'm pretty sure covering with a blanket is a euphemism for banging him like a drum until he passed out, so she could nail him with a tent peg. And this is one of God's heroes. I got a problem with that. I didn't. What's the whole point with Gideon? Why is he even in the book? I don't see any. He didn't do anything. He had a battle. He didn't do anything. Neither did his sons. In chapter 9, we see people being burned alive in a tower because they were Israelites. And God says it's okay to burn them alive in a tower. Um, I skipped over Jephthah offering his daughter as a human sacrifice. That's sick. Which goes against what is previously written in, Leviticus. Judges, do not offer your sons and daughters as sacrifices to me. Uh, I, That's not the exact wording, but it's there. Okay. If it's not in Leviticus, it's in Deuteronomy. We've got bald exaggeration. I'm sorry, but even if it's a mouse, nobody is strong enough to rip a mouse in two parts with their bare hands. And nobody's going to rip a struggling, kicking, fighting lion, just rip him in two like a piece of paper. No, it's a bold exaggeration. Ripping off the city gates, pulling down the pillars of whatever. That's all bold exaggeration. And then God's hero goes against commandment number 7 and visits a sex worker. What, commandment number 7 is just for the ladies and not for the men? In chapter 17, we read about Micah and his ephod made of stolen silver. It's stolen! Goes against the Ten Commandments. And as near as I can find from my research, ephod is a different word for idol. So it's a Yahwistic idol. And then a Levite comes along to be the guardian of the ephod with Micah, and then the tribe of Dan is successful. They take the Levite, the ephod, they take him to wherever they are, and they're successful in battle because they worship an idol made of stolen silver. I'm going to bypass the story of the Levite and his concubine. He didn't even check to see if she was alive before he butchered her like a cow or a pig. And then at the in the very, very last chapter, God okays, or at least doesn't stop, the tribe of Benjamin from kidnapping wives. We have to have 12. Yes, I know there were 12 disciples later. But what is it with 12? Why can't there be 11 tribes? Why does it have to be 12? What is sacred about 12? And then in the last, and every man did right what it was in his own eyes. Does that mean everybody was an asshole? Nobody had any kind of conscience or empathy or anything like that for anyone other than themselves. Is that what that verse meant? The judges were merely a restraint upon a lack of human empathy? I don't understand why the book of Judges is part of the Hebrew Scriptures. Thank you for watching. Please comment. Please help me out. I would love to know more. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you next time on Second Coming of Unbelief. Thank you.